At the age of 15, I got pregnant and dropped out of school. I engaged with my boyfriend at the age of 14 years. We started living together up to the time of giving birth. It's so unfortunate that my baby died at the time of birth. After bearing my baby, my mother decided to take me back to her home to take care of me. During that period, it's when she got me a job working in Kampala, in a bar, earning 40,000 Ugandan shillings, that's $11 per month. After spending 5 months at my new job, my boyfriend contacted me and followed me to the city. Since I was so naive, I dropped my job to start staying with him in the city. Out of ignorance, I got pregnant with my second child at the age of 16. I became so sick and had to return to the village to live with my mother. Since being in the city and sick was getting expensive, I never told my mother about the father of my unborn child. I got a job working as a house girl for a few months and gave birth. My mother was not happy when she found out that my old boyfriend was the father of my child. So, my mother sent me to go and live with the child's father. And after 2 years, I had my third child. As years passed, the father of my child started changing. He was not the man I knew before. Little did I know this was the beginning of my suffering. He stopped taking care of me and my children, and he had mistresses. I had to dig and grow food such that I and my children could get what to eat, since he was not providing the food. He would go to work in other districts and leave me in the house with the children alone. It so happened that one of my children got sick and was admitted for 3 days. The father didn't come to visit us in the hospital, nor did he pay the hospital dues. I was so unhappy that the man I loved so much was no longer the man I knew. I made a decision to go back to the city and work. This meant that I had to leave my children behind with their father. I could not sleep most of the time. The thought of my kids living with this man, not knowing whether they have eaten food or their needs are met, forced me to return to my children in the village. I endured the torture and mistreatment of my children's father for 5 years for the sake of my children. One day I decided to commit suicide to end my misery, but I was not successful, so I ended up in the hospital. That's when I got the courage to leave the father of my kids. So I started living with my mother and my 2 children. I was so hopeless. I wasn't educated, living with the 2 children without their father's support. Years passed and I met my second husband at the age of 23. He was a year younger than me. At first, I got pregnant with his child and I aborted it because I was fed up with men. I didn't like him, but now I have a child with him. He was living with his parents and never had money or any asset to his name, so he could not afford to construct a luxurious house to live in. So we decided to construct it with our own hands. With the income my husband gets from carpentry and digging on big farms, we use it for medical expenses. While the crops I grow on our small piece of land, we eat it and sell the surplus to get money to buy what we don't have at home. We are all happy with my man, who is God-fearing and respects me, unlike my former husband. He welcomed my 2 children from another man to live with us, something which I thought he would not accept, and he takes care of them. I'm so happy that such good people still exist in this world.